to wrap.
What a sensational play to get to the rack for the slam.
Strong interior move, aggressive, assertive, and effective. Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the board.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Holiday, the pass to Davis. Knocks it loose.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
And the wide open shot from Stuckey. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. New Orleans in the lead. It's Davis with the drive. The rebound by Turner. And a fast break now for the Pacers. George with the ball.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot here.
Here's Cole. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. They get it back. And Davis can't get it to go.
Yeah, but you have to love that tough interior defense.
And, Greg, that's exactly what he gives you. I mean, he's constantly making his presence felt around the rim.
Stuckey can't get it to go. New Orleans has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. The wide open look here for Holiday. Not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down. So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game. And guys, for Drew Holiday last season was a tale of two halves. Over the first half, he displayed the leadership and the playmaking skills the team had originally acquired him for.
You know what, Kevin? Over the second half of the year, everything just kind of fell apart for Drew. He couldn't shake an injury to his lower right leg, and as a result, had to watch from the bench as his team fought for its playoff lives.
And some changes here for the Pacers. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Turner. Solomon Hill comes in for George. And it's Lawson in for Hill. The Pelicans also changing it up. Perkins comes in for Anthony Davis. And it's Luke Babbitt in for Dante Cunningham.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness. Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on him.
To the middle, the kick out to Hill. And again, it's Indiana. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, but neither team really able to jump ahead.
It reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth.
Here's Babbitt. Here's Cole. The kick out to Anderson. Hill gets the rebound.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You've got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
Hill, no good.
And he thought he had a clear path to the hoop, but the defense didn't give up on that play and cut him off.
Dishes it to Cole. And the shot is good. And the Pelicans lead by 1.
Defensively, I think they've got to do a better job of bodying them up.
Clearly, they've been outclassed in the paint, really at both ends of the floor.
And here's Lawson. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Stuckey's got space. Can't connect from 13 feet out. And at the end of one, both teams putting up some points. Pelicans on top, leading by just 1. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. And talk to Monte Ellis. He says he feeds off his doubters. He loves to hear someone say what he can't do. And Monte Ellis is still trying to prove people wrong now in Dallas after their quick exit from the playoffs a season ago. Clark, it's been a decade in the league now for this very talented guard.
And you know, that kind of relentless determination is really something Monte is known for, and one of the reasons he has been around for 10 years in the NBA as a consistently good player and lethal scorer.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for New Orleans.
With the aggression they're showing early on, I mean, they're driving it to the hoop with authority and force.
Yeah, and I think another key, guys, will be can they continue to hit that mid-range shot? I mean, they've been very effective here early on.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court for Indiana, Turner is out there with Mahinmi. Then there's Ellis. Then it's George Hill. And it's George into the small forward.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Cunningham, he's checked in for Luke Abbott. And Alonzo G subbed in for Cole. And there's the foul. It goes on Ryan Anderson. That's his first foul. Davis is checked in for Anderson. The Pacers have gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter.
And you talk about momentum. That sort of action delivers a type of energy to your team that you just can't quantify.
You know what? I'm going to quantify it right now, Clark. And this is a close game, and that was something special.
And really, in a game, you guys, in a game like this, though, when you have a chance to send a message, you do. And boy, did he ever on that play.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. So it's the Pelicans now, following the score by Indiana.
Well, whether you call him the brow or Ed or the future, Anthony Davis made the leap in year 3 to franchise superstar. I mean, still, though, he remains humble, determined to improve, and dedicated to maximizing his immense potential.
He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he picks the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
Yeah, and in a close game, though, guys, those could be really important points.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it. And his former coach, Monty Williams, played with some greats. Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing. He says he sees that same desire to dominate in Anthony Davis.
Yeah, he wants to be great and doesn't see himself as a finished product, which is a good thing. That means he's going to continue to stay humble and hungry and put the work in.
This shot's just, it's not there right now. With his team leading, perhaps, you know, let's focus on some other areas of the game. Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And, Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
And the call will be against George Hill. That's his first foul.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Douglas dishes to Davis. Just 5 to shoot. Douglas kicks to Davis. No luck. And it's the Pacers taking it the other way. Their last encounter was in New Orleans, where they were able to handle the Pelicans.
And the last time they faced this club, rebounding was their big advantage.
Clearly, that was the overriding factor. A double-digit advantage on the boards. They just pounded them inside.
And he has slipped into a funk, Clark. You can see the confidence is shaken.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he's very much deflated. The basket looks a lot smaller to him at this point, and the only way you can get out of it is to work yourself out of it. That's how you make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered. The floor is open. Take care of business.
Always an advantage when you can get out in the open floor. You get much better rhythm offensively, and this lead, I think, is headed up.
And he gets the bucket.
It just seems like the more he touches it, the more the lead grows. And, guys, no doubt George Hill had it rough last season. He missed the first 28 games with that left knee injury, came back for 5, then missed another 11 games before his season got going. But you know what? He had one of his most productive years from that point on. Got a piece of it.
The 15-footer. George, no good.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam. You're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will start shrinking even further.
He still hasn't been able to convert from the field. He's just struggling to find his shot.
Here's Davis. Plays it up and banks it in. Now just a 4-point Pacer lead.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
And how? I mean, they're taking this defense to task, taking them to school. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint.
Well, despite that possession, something that I've liked is they've been under control while getting out in this league. They've kept those turnovers down.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Allen comes in for Mahinmi. And it's Solomon Hill in for Paul George. And then for New Orleans, Kendrick Perkins. He's checked in for Asha. And it's Holiday in for Tony Douglas. Here's Ellis. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Hill's got 4 assists in the game.
What a job he's doing here. I mean, his second quarter has been even better than his first. And that was pretty good. Indiana leading by 3. Here's Hill. And the bucket counts. And he's on his way to the free throw line. Trying to make it a 3-point play. Superb playmaking from Monte Ellis. That dish was right on time. Indiana making some changes. Hill, he's checked in for Turner. Stuckey comes in for Ellis. And it's Lawson in for George Hill. Luke Babbitt, he's checked in for New Orleans. Now here's Davis. He's coming off a 25-point game against Memphis. Rising high to throw that one down. Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam.
Nice way there, guys, to finish up that possession.
Lawson against Holiday. Rodney Stuckey on the wing. Wide open. And he didn't get quite enough under that one. And New Orleans pushing it up now. And then G with the jam. Man, he got fancy with that one, didn't he? Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
I tell you what, I like that, though, guys. Some coaches might not want you to make a play like that, but I tell you what, when you got the skills like that, I say go for it.
And that's collected by Hill. Indiana leading. And it's Hill penetrating. That's good. Hill's got 7.
They've settled into a nice groove offensively here in the second.
Yeah, and that field goal percentage zooming upwards is now above 50%, which is pretty strong.
And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Anderson comes in for Anthony Davis. And Cole subbed in for G.
You know what, didn't find a very good shot on that possession, but still able to get 2 points.
Cole's shot is good.
And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
Austin has the open look. No good on the triple. Pelicans trail by 6. Here's Holiday. And Allen with the block. Stuckey right side. Perkins pulls it in. New Orleans has gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter.
And getting going here in the second quarter, his second 3-pointer of the game.
Kendrick Perkins at this point in his career really more of an enforcer than anything. Last season was statistically his worst since his rookie year. Played for a couple of different, actually was part of 3 different teams and ended up in Cleveland after beginning in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and you know, at this stage, what he gives you now, he's really a space eater down low. Still a terrific screener in the pick and roll or in terms of executing of the offense. And when the game gets physical, that tends to lead to him finding a way to make an impact.
Enforcer's a good term to use.
I like that one,
I
Kevin.
do too.
I like that one.
Timeout called the Pacers.
And, you know, going back to Kendrick Perkins, I mean, he just looks like a guy you wouldn't want to mess with. On top of that, he acts like a guy you wouldn't want to mess with. One of the toughest competitors in the league, and he's got a scowl to match. Some of the shots he's taken have been real head scratchers. I mean, come on. He's out there playing like it's a game of horse at the park.
And Cole kicks to Babbitt. And here's Anderson for 3. And a clear foul there as he shot the triple. He'll go to the line for 3 free throws.
And we were talking about Perkins. He's always been willing to do the dirty work. When the Celtics traded him a few years back for Jeff Green, they immediately struggled to outwork and out-hustle opponents. That was one of the few trades that I think Danny Ainge would like to have back.
Before getting dinged up, Brian Anderson was rolling. I mean, over the first few seasons of his career, improved in efficiency in all areas. Then he had the back injury, and last season his shooting percentages really went south.
And getting back to Ryan Anderson, in 2012, he won the NBA's Most Improved Player Award. Then, in the summer of that year, he landed an enormous contract in a sign and trade.
Yeah, and that's the good Ryan Anderson. If he can stay healthy, he's a tremendous asset, and he isn't just a shooter. He can get it done on the backboard as well.
And the Pacers with possession here, and the Pelicans picked up 3 with their last shot. Allen drives in. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. The dish now to Cole. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Cole's got 6. Guys, what a wild first half this has been.
I'd say, 8 lead changes. That's big for itself.
Wow, back and forth start, that's for sure.
Some hang time on that rim puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
And also the other.
Oh! And that's a punch to the jaw. This game as tight as it can be, and he pulls something off that we might not even see in the All-Star game, Kevin.
But Clark, I don't know that he planned it out too far in advance. That was one of those things that just happened.
I think it was premeditated.
I really don't. I think that he's one of those guys that just plays off of instinct, and they don't mind him making those kinds of plays, even in a close game.
They're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results right now.
You're right. 3 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Lawson outside. Here's Allen. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And the first half comes to a close in a tie game. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, thank you. Here with Frank Vogel. And, Coach, you've got to be pleased with that first half. The ball was moving. Your guys were sharing. Things were going well for you. What about it pleased you?
Yeah, the game is simple when you make the extra pass, when you play the right way. We start out playing this way. We got to continue it for 4 quarters.
Thank you, Frank. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. We'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And an exhilarating first half, to be sure. Welcome back. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be breaking down all the action for you. Paul George taking care of business in this one. He had 21 points, 2 block shots, and 1 steal. Tonight isn't an exception as looking back at his last few games. That does it for halftime as the game is just about set to get going again. We send you back to Kevin Harlan and crew for the third quarter.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. You look at Paul George in this game, guys. He's been everywhere.
And